Let's go to Dave and Deck. That's a powerful breakout, and it's holding it for
Yeah,
now.
it really has. I think to appreciate it even more, Allie, could we please weekly it? Yeah.
Yes.
And if you
Weeklify it.
can maybe zoom out a little because you can even more appreciate. Yeah, that's perfect. That's perfect because this
Okay.
is last week was the biggest weekly gain since May of 2020, or at least it was one of the biggest for sure, if not the biggest. And you can see that 16% there, and then
Yeah, this one
15%.
looks
So
like it was also the
yeah, so this has a habit, right, of making some very powerful, noticeable breakouts, and for sure that May 2021 really worked like a charm. You didn't have to wait 3 or 4 times uh, before it started working. And so when you get that powerful move, heavy volume, and the news to back it up, just in my mind, I think this is really become a front burner stock for myself personally. I did pick up like just a few shares, just like as what I like to call a scalp buy, so I don't uh, lose any of my attention on a daily basis. Doesn't mean that this is time to definitely go whole hog on this stock and just count your future winnings. But let's see if the stock can hold most or all of that last week's gain, two, tighten up, three, possibly form a base on base, or four, just keep moving and force people to have to chase the stock, or well, I don't want to say chase, but just wait for that next legitimate IBD stop buy point. I do want to just highlight, LA, just a few numbers from their quarterly results, and it was really impressive. As you can see, we have the basics there, accelerating revenue growth. But in terms of, when you mine deeper into the sales, the direct-to-consumer net sales was up 39%. Their wholesale net sales were up 19%. So clearly, we understand that the online channel is one of the most efficient,
Mhm.
more profitable ways to make business. I mean, I've never seen an UGG store. Have you, Allie, for
No.
instance? Yeah, right. I mean,
Yeah.
and I've seen UGGs in stores, but I've seen most of the UGG merchandise just by the daily email that I get to one of my personal emails, and I'm really impressed by how they've stretched what used to be a boot that was lined with shearling and had just one color into almost, not what I don't want to say every color in the rainbow, but all sorts of shapes and sizes. And they've also gone beyond to go some ridiculously colored other merchandise using the UGG brand for apparel and not just for winter
Mhm.
boots. So it's really incredible how they masterfully stretched the leverage that they have with that brand. They're
Right.
also they're going to sell their Sanuk sandal brand, which years ago was going to be maybe one of their biggest hits. It's SANUK, but they announced that they're going to uh, focus on their best two, which is the HOKA, obviously, and the UGG.
Interesting. Yeah, it's there are competitors too, UGG competitors out there, and they
Yeah.
have a premium. They've placed a premium on
Yes.
their product, and they're able to do that.
How many, right, if you go to a big five, Irusha and my favorite sporting goods store in the area, and yeah, there are bunches of copycats, and even a good brand like Eddie Bauer, for instance, during this time, we'll see a lot of those holiday oriented, slippers and boots that you can wear, perfect stocking stuffers and what. But it just seems like I don't think any other of those copycat brands have really mirrored the success that Deckers has. So to me, it's kind of like Deckers' battle to lose for this coming holiday quarter, and we know, unemployment's still really low. The Friday jobs report is expecting no change there. Incomes are rising. People who are working for certain industries are seeing nice, healthy increases in their wages. So it just kind of fundamentally makes sense to me. And the industry group, while being weak, as you can see, apparel, shoes, relative and related manufacturing 137, that kind of masks the strength one of Deckers. And then you got some exciting other exciting companies like Birk, BIRK, which is not a great IPO so far. You know, that trading range that you see is actually below its IPO price, but you have some numbers that are pretty interesting and maybe worth diving into.
So, Dave, if this is still hanging in the buy zone, and if we get a follow through day or a continuation of this bounce, do you think it would be buyable?
I think so. I don't. But here again, we're making lots of assumptions here. Uh, if we go back to that weekly chart and we look at that other 17% rally on likely it was earnings. Yeah, that was. I guess that big 17% gain in the second quarter of 2021, that came in between
Mm-hmm.
results, and you can see that the quarter before that big move was an exceptional quarter, 107% earnings growth. We don't know what the sales was. It took a while for that engine to get started. And ultimately, the stock had a severe round trip, right? And so here, you really had to be very nimble in making sure you didn't lose all those gains because then, it came all the way down, flushed people through the 40-week, and then came back up strong in lower volume, and then really tumbled on the J. Powell interest rate bear market. So, uh, you know, obviously buying on gap ups is not easy, but I got to tell you, over 20 years of trying to be the best I can at finding the growth stocks in the IBD methodology, sometimes you just gonna have to, sort of, swallow the fact that you didn't get it before the gap up, but you can try to find a good spot after.